9 years ago, I was sitting right here, and I heard a voice in my head telling me to go back to where I came from. And I took that as go back to the island that I lived on in the Pacific Northwest and leave the entertainment industry and seek the divine. Find out my true essence, self-realization. SeaReal Records, SR, self-realization, SR. It all made sense. For the first time in my life, I went back somewhere and I was by myself totally. And I studied the wisdom of the worlds. I say worlds because there's so many worlds within this world. It's what you choose. It's what you choose to manifest. It's what you choose to be. Yogananda came over here in 1920 and established a self-realization fellowship, and is known as the father of yoga in the Western world. Anything you want to do, you have to set off on that journey. And it took me going back to this island, reading, studying, and washing away the definitions of the past for me to understand how important it is to be your unique self. To be your unique self. That's the key. You're beautiful. I know it sounds so very cliche, but it's true. You're limitless. You really are. Whatever you put your energy into manifests. Whatever you put your heart into actualizes. But it takes work, commitment. It doesn't happen overnight. This journey's taken me 9 years to get back here, to bring back to you a unique, original, and raw version of myself. And now you get to embark on this journey with me to the world of different cultures, golf, music, beauty, art, all of it. And we're going to take this journey together and we're going to be real. We're not going to be what the mainstream wants. We're going to be real. We're going to have fun and we're going to give it to you in the only way I know how to, and that is with the utmost joy. It took me a long time to get to a place where I could fearlessly be me. In the past, it was arrogance. Now, this is organic. This is real. Above par means above par lifestyle, above the average. There's nothing wrong with living above average because we are limitless. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Anyone and everyone can be whoever you want to be, so be it. As you go down the fairway, you realize it's only up to you to hit the next shot. You take in the beauty of the environment you're in, and you truly and honestly have to approach it with your best self as you take that next swing. That's life. Every moment is yours. Live it. Take the time to listen to yourself. Take the time to master yourself. And then you realize there's no limitation to your being. This is going to be a wonderful journey. And this is going to be a journey that we'll never forget. Welcome back to Above Par.
My name is Wyatt Barkley, better known as Dub B. As a producer and performer, my love for music has taken me to the industry's biggest stages. But beauty is my passion, and ever since I could walk, I've been immersed in the game I love, which is golf. And I was raised to compete on golf's biggest stages. Now I'm bringing it all together. Come and join me as we feed body, soul, and mind, and unlock some of the most beautiful experiences the golf world has to offer, where everything sits above par.
From the club to the tee, come travel with Dub B. I'm dealing what's never seen, picturesque green fairway dreams, bring it all to reality, right here on Above Par. exemplify.
Once again, our journey picks back up where it literally left off, in Encinitas, California, at the Self-Realization Temple, Hermitage and Meditation Gardens, and one-time home of one of the most preeminent spiritual figures of our time, Paramahansa Yogananda, and the location where his modern-day spiritual classic, The Autobiography of a Yogi, was written. One might be asking themselves why at golf shows featuring a Self-Realization Temple. Well, let's just be real. If you ain't got your mind, body, and soul right, you ain't got your life right. Perched high above Swami's Beach on the California coast, this majestic sanctuary's pathways weave through internationally renowned gardens, waterfalls, koi ponds, and an array of colorful floral displays. And spread throughout the property, the perfect meditation nooks, bestowing a unique setting where one can study, meditate, or enjoy the beauty of nature.
Walking through these gardens, you feel a magic, you feel an energy, you feel a pulse. The sea breeze coming off the sea, the magnificent coastline, the Pacific. You see the vastness of the infinite, and it manifests right in front of you, right within you. The Encinitas Meditation Garden and Ashram is a magical place.
And last but not least, this is the site of the Golden Lotus Temple. Built in 1937, here thousands came to services conducted by Paramahansa Yogananda. The Guru designed the temple to take advantage of the magnificent views of sea and sky. At its dedication, he said, "The Golden Lotus Temple of all religions is dedicated to the ideal of brotherhood and non-sectarian worship of our one Father." In 1942, the erosion on the hill made him close down this temple, but Paramahansa Yogananda saw it as a blessing in disguise and went on to open up temples in Hollywood and in San Diego. The beauty here leaves you speechless. It's ineffable, like the divine is ineffable. The Autobiography of a Yogi changed my life and set me off on a trajectory to understand my true beauty. Now I live for beauty. Self-Realization Fellowship, self-realization, to self-realize, to realize one's own potential. No matter where you go in life or what you do, when you recognize and realize your own potential, there's nothing that can stop you. That's why this stop isn't a stop, it's a start. And our journey continues not too far down the coast, where beauty continues to unfold. Coronado, USA. Located front and center in San Diego Bay, Coronado Island is one of the most exclusive islands in the world that's not an island at all. Connected to the mainland by a sandy isthmus called the Silver Strand, Coronado has drawn beach lovers, tourists, and celebrities alike for decades. With 50% of the island's occupation being military, the other half of the island is everything you'd want in the perfect beach community. And on the southern tip of the island, within eyeshot of the infamous Hotel del Coronado, lies another gem of the island. 100% open to the public, Coronado Golf Course oozes private club vibes. Voted one of the best public courses in the nation, Coronado Golf Course delivers every bit on that claim. And that's why.
Above par, we're back, Coronado Golf Course. And today, for the first episode back, producer extraordinaire, Steve Dang, out here with us at Coronado. You ready, brother?
Howdy, folks. Let's do it.
It's amazing. Where else are you going to tee off on the second hole with battleships, aircraft carriers, and palm trees right behind you? You name it. Coronado, that's what I'm saying.
Shot.
I mean, really, what a great shot that was. Ooh, well hit. Look at that. Look at that up.
All right.
Look at that up. Not bad. That's a good up right there. He's got some touch, a little touch, some keyboard touch. I can attest to that. Any other touch other than golf touch? Those are only 2 touches I can attest to. I will only attest to. That's it. Well, it looks like my ball was exactly where the hole was yesterday. So I'm a little behind my times now. I'm usually ahead of my times. Now I'm behind my times. Is that funny? Oh, he's made for TV, guys. He's giving me a run for my money. Nice.
Originally opened in 1957 and redesigned in 1968 by William Francis Bell, the original designer of Torrey Pines Golf Course, Coronado Golf Course offers a picturesque and laid-back atmosphere for golfers of all levels. Coming in at over 100,000 rounds a year, from its dramatic holes played along San Diego Bay to its wide and inviting tree-lined fairways. This well-manicured American classic municipal golf course leaves no question why it's one of the most heavily played courses in our nation. Every moment while on the course feels like a privilege to play.
So Steve, when did you get into golf?
I started playing about middle school age, and played high school golf shortly after that.
Who got you in the game?
Just buddies, and we go and just play as often as we could.
What course was this at?
So we grew up in Moreno Valley,
Uh-huh.
and the local course is Moreno Valley Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going out there, being 13 years old, playing golf, I mean, it was just you and your buddies. That's unique. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a unique thing to do. I mean, a lot of people don't actually think of like that's when you go to the basketball courts, right? Or they go to, you know, soccer fields, or you know. But going out to the golf course with your buddies and doing that, I mean, that's amazing.
It helps integrity and honesty. You know, it's a big part of the game, and that definitely carry that into, you know, everyday life.
Now, when did you get into music?
Music. I was in music in 4th grade. A little woodwind player, played clarinet.
Woodwind player.
Yeah, and played in band. You know, did that whole deal.
Yo, if you know how funky this beats are, a woodwind player is where he started.
Yeah, yeah,
Mind blowing.
yeah. Played all the way through college orchestra at UCI.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking around, and everybody was gonna take their instrument and like play in movies,
Yeah.
you know, and become an expert at that. And so I was just, you know, doing that to just keep having fun with it. It was more of like a hobby at that point for me. And then it just started the computer music just took over, and that's where I wanted to. The fact that you could pull up a whole orchestra and play it on the keyboard, like that's what got my attention, and I was intrigued.
So you were in 4th grade when you started music, and that took your life. Were you into hip hop early, or what?
Yeah. A lot of my friends listened to hip hop music, and I was hooked. When I heard, you know, Dr. Dre's beats, I was like, wow, how musical, how cool, and that became my favorite. And
Yeah.
and then copied him for a good amount of years, and then you do your own thing after that. You know,
Right.
learn from the masters.
Right. I mean, you definitely know that West Coast sound and have that West Coast sound. I mean, it's synonymous. When I hear a Steve Dang beat, I'm like, damn, that's just got that West Coast feel for real, you know? And it's interesting that you started as a woodwind player.
Yeah.
Right? And then you evolved because of this love you had for Dre's music.
But I mean, the biggest thing too is like, granted, Dr. Dre was a big influence. Like one of my biggest lessons I ever learned was you have to start doing your own thing.
And now you make money from music?
Yes.
Indeed you do, my
Yes.
brother. Indeed you do. We've had some hits, man.
yeah, a few,
We're going to
yeah.
continue to have some.
Absolutely.
You know, the beautiful thing is that Steve being here with me now and kicking Above Par back off together, it's not only because this is the next chapter in his ties to golf, but we're also working on my brand new record right now, SeaRealization, and we're going to be in the studio with that as well. So we're like merging the two together, start this off, the golf again together, and the music together. And the cool thing is that my first record that I had go to XM radio back in the early 2000s was produced by Steve. It's called Been There, Done That. So we've been there and done that. Now we're going to do it better. And we're much flyer at what we do.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, my friend.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do
Tee
it.
up. So Steve, first job working at a golf course.
Yeah, out picking balls off the range.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Get free golf.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got you out there playing.
It's a good deal. Then your network starts there, and then you just go play other courses. And
So first job at a golf course picking the range to producing music for Super Bowl commercials. That's a hell of a journey.
weird.
See the golf and synchronicity into the music world? It's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's equally complicated.
It's equally complicated. That's the best way to say it. We got some complicated shots here. Let's go knock these on the
Let's do it.
green.
All right. After you, sir.
Steve, what's been some of the most important lessons golf's taught you?
So many.
Yeah,
Patience.
patience.
Yeah, patience goes a long way in golf and in music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can sit there and wait. If it takes 24 hours to find the right sound, you can sit there for 24 hours, right?
Right? I mean, that's from the producer's mouth right there. I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing. That's true, right? And self-belief, too.
Yeah.
You got to believe in yourself,
Absolutely.
right? Sitting behind that keyboard or sitting on this tee box, you have to have belief in yourself or you're not going to attain the goal you want,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, same in golf, although sometimes I do close my eyes.
Do you? I would advise against
That's
closing
what-
your eyes, especially when you got so much beauty around you,
That's that belief.
you know? So, I
I
mean,
know.
the way you see golf translating to music is in that patience.
Absolutely.
So what would you say to the young producers out there right now who are in the studio? Would you tell them to be patient with their
100%. Like, it's a good thing that my first beats on CDs don't exist anymore, probably, because, you know, I was horrible at one point when I started out, I'm sure. And you just keep doing it, and eventually, it might take 10 years, might take somebody 1 year, to get a great sound going. But yeah, I feel it's just put in the time, and you got it.
So it's like golf, what you're saying. It might take 10 years to get your swing together, but step by step, the patience, the determination, and you're going to have the perfect swing.
Yeah, that, and then put in the work too,
Put
because
in
we
the
all
work.
know, like, to get a swing in a decent spot, you're hitting the range 4 or 5 times a week, putting in the time, and then just hitting the studio every day.
And it harmonizes the soundtrack of life.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Tee it up, brother.
Let's go.
The 18th hole at Coronado, I mean, it's absolutely dramatic. You got the bridge leading into Coronado. You got San Diego in the background. You got the Navy SEALs where they train right to your left. You got all the greatest warships in the world around you. If you can't finish like a champion, like a soldier, then you shouldn't play 18. do it again. Indeed. Hotel del Coronado in the background, the marina, the aircraft carriers, the ships of all kind, and the city of San Diego right over my shoulder. Coronado Golf Course, magical, truly magical.
So this is Studio D.
This is Studio D. Welcome. Come on in.
This is it.
Here we are, Studio D.
There we are.
The resurrection of the new album, Steve Dang. This man right here, when it comes to producing, gets behind the keyboard. You've seen his golf already, but he's a bad man behind this keyboard. Good man, but a bad man.
Well, welcome, guys.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So how much time does producing take up of your time?
Well, as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as I can. I like to do, I just wake up and start working. That's kind of my style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get the coffee going, turn the computer on, start playing something, even if I might be a little tired. Like, I just kind of train myself to like work when everybody else is working, so I could turn the music up louder. I'll shoot for like on average, I'll probably go like an 8 or 10 hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's how much time you're putting in to your craft.
Every day, yeah.
This is a full-time job.
Every day.
Yeah.
I'll try to take a day and a half off a week, just for like, you know, for balance, a little exercise, and you know.
So the moments of I am gonna give up, what made you push through those?
That's interesting, because I remember like 6 months into all this, I was like, wow, that's a really long 6 months. I don't know, like that was a lot. Mm-hmm. I tried. Mm-hmm. No, dude, try 6 years at least, and then you can maybe kind of say you tried. But yeah, like I never for a second quitting entered my mind ever.
There you go.
It was like my whole thing, like I say it all the time, like no plan B.
No plan B.
Yeah.
There you go. That's beautiful.
No plan B.
Never give up. That's the bottom line, right? Never give up.
No, you
know,
can't.
you got to be totally 100% dedicated to your craft. How many years have you been doing it now?
I think this is year 16 full time.
But finding your own sound, talk about what is that to you?
That's the most important thing you can do, is as a producer, just to have some kind of your own identity. And it's fine. In my opinion, I think it's fine if like you have like kind of like a bits and pieces taken from all kinds of different people, because that's what makes you unique. Like, what grabs your ear, what inspires you. So you're like, oh, I like Dr. Dre pianos, or you like Timberland drums, or even like Crystal Method or Prodigy and electronic music, or even throwing some kind of EDM thing in there some way, somehow, like with the trap synths, or just whatever like you're grabbing here. You can mix it. It doesn't have to follow a certain trend.
Right.
It could be a piece of a trend and
Right.
another piece of another trend, and then then anything's possible, really.
That's what the greatest chefs will say. It's about how you use the ingredients.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and my biggest thing is like there's no rules.
Right.
You
There
know,
is
like no, if you're like, I always have observed amongst like other peers, and we talk about it, and we're like if we're following a trend that's hot now, you're lucky if your record comes out you're a year behind everybody. You know, so granted, sometimes it's needed. They might need that for a visual that calls for that. Fine, but yeah, just.
But there is no rules. You're right.
And that makes it really hard to get beat block. You're just like, oh, there's no rules. And if I'm not in the mood feeling musical today, well, let me throw a drum kit together that's going to inspire me in 10 minutes. And we're like, oh, wait, I could use this. I think Splice is a great resource. You know, they didn't pay me to say that, but you get on there, it's like endless ideas. You could take something and that's another thing. Like, obviously we don't just like take loops and just throw it on there. Like, we like freak it somehow. We'll take a piece of it, we'll rearrange the chord structure, we'll put all these effects on it, speed it up, slow it down, flip it backwards, like whatever. So now that's something that you contributed to the arrangement, So I love going through samples. I wasn't much of a sampler before. I always was like stubborn about playing everything like on my own. But I really like the sound resources they have online now. And you can get some, I appreciate like all the unique textures that you can just grab that might have taken me like, all day to make something that can sound like my ear wants it to sound.
Talk about the cinematic stuff for a moment. I mean, that's where you've kind of morphed into, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're skilled as skilled can be when it comes to producing hip hop and pop, right? And we know that because we're working on a brand new record right now
Absolutely.
together. But at the same time, cinematic, right? This world of, so much digital content and understanding how producers right now can really make a living by being able to pivot and understand
Absolutely.
how to score these type of productions.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, the big thing for me is like I feel like in that realm, in that world, like no track ever goes to waste. Mm-hmm. Like, you might produce a bunch for a record and you submit a bunch of songs that may get selected, they may not. You might have to start all over or whatever. But if you have an idea that you care about and it's conveying like a strong emotion and it's well produced and composed, like there'll guaranteed be a scene for that somewhere one day that someone could use.
Right.
So I feel like nothing ever goes to waste. You take an idea and you're like, cool, this goes into that pile. This has that vibe, and you might have a folder or a registry of all kinds of different feelings, however you decide to organize your stuff. Mm-hmm. So when they need that in 5 hours for any kind of license for a TV show or film, they can get to it quick, and you could send it quick, and you already got the vibe set, and you got something for that.
So syncing wise, I mean, tell us what have you synced? What have you produced for as far as film and TV shows?
I've been doing mostly like commercials lately. That's been the most intriguing and exciting for me. Mm-hmm. So like you'll have like Verizon and they'll have like all these scenes like pre-shot and kind of composed, and it'll have like no music, just dialogue. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was so cool because it was like awkward at first because you're like, whoa, I feel like there's supposed to be something musical happening, and that's what I've been doing. So I'll just go in and fill in the blanks musically. They'll send me the commercial, and I'll just say like, all right, well, I'll start riffing on something, or I'll have a piano riff just to get kind of some chord feelings happening, and then I might switch it or start with drums or whatever they ask for, really. But that's just been the most exciting part to me is filling in those blanks and kind of getting the commercial before it hits the shelves, and kind of having to finish it off has been pretty fun.
And what's the turnaround time most of the time, like before you see it pop on TV?
If you get average, probably like 24 hours. Mm-hmm. You have to have your idea nailed, awesome, perfect in like a day usually. You're lucky if you get 48 hours.
So what are some of the bigger syncs or the bigger productions you've done for TV and film?
Yeah, I did. I think the biggest is probably the Super Bowl ad for Mercedes-Benz. Like that was especially exciting because a lot of these commercials, you don't know when they're airing, and you don't know where it's going to air, so you can't share in the excitement with your family and friends. Like it's most of the time as an accident. You're like, that's my track.
Yeah.
Oops. And then, but we all knew when the Super Bowl was. We all knew that was a Super Bowl ad specifically, so that be able to like kind of gather around with the family and stuff was like, that was pretty cool because you don't get to do that too often.
But you also had a pretty well-known one with Pepsi, right?
Yep, Pepsi. That was a while ago. That was also exciting because I was just going through, go through YouTube videos and stuff, and it's the Jeff Gordon when he pranks the salesman and drives his car and freaks him out and does all that. So most people have seen that one.
And TV show wise, can you name some of the TV shows you've actually had production on?
TV shows, Orange Is the New Black is one.
Yeah, that was big.
And that's a personal favorite
of
mine. Not a TV show, but a comedy special. That was my very first placement, actually.
Really?
I got it on the wall. Chris Rock, Kill the Messenger. My favorite comedian. Friggin' love that guy. I go to Best Buy to buy the new comedy DVD. We had DVDs then.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Popped on my computer. I hear my track come on. And I'm like, wait a minute. My iTunes has to be playing or something. And so I mute the DVD and flip over to iTunes trying to figure out if that track's playing. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I unpause the DVD. And then my music came back on. And I didn't get it. I was like, what's happening? So cool. I was just so pumped. Hey, check this out. Chris Rock. I love Chris Rock. And I was just so like, that's kind of like the onset of going into licensing land and just having so much fun like that.
Well, that track must have been a slapper.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I actually made that track in college. Like on my first laptop with like, I think I was using like the first version of Reason at the time. And it's like, it's like you could do it with anything.
Yeah.
You don't need like, you could get it done with whatever you got.
So what would you say to, there's so many producers out there right now that are grinding away. What would you say to the young producers out there that are trying to understand this world of syncing and production? I mean, there seems to be the opportunity for them to find their place in this world of music production because there's so much content being, produced that syncing is necessary for.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
I would say, number one thing is just put in the work.
Yeah.
Put in as much work as you can. And when you do, over time, it'll pay off.
Meaning put in the work. Do you mean put in the work as far as make more and more product?
Okay, so both. Yeah, good. Thanks for clarifying that. Like, put in the work of getting your product as best as you can.
Right.
Like, get your quality like as top shelf as possible.
Right.
But also network like crazy. Like any opportunity comes up, go shake hands with someone. Be it out, be face to face with people. Be it, what are they called? Conventions where these people are gathering, and like you just, and then be likable. That helps. People want to do business with who they like. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge factor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's kind of start with that, and I think things will work out.
So a lot of your music that you're syncing is being distributed by Universal?
Yes.
And so for someone seeking that opportunity, that took you years to open those doors, right?
Yeah, and it's the weird part of that was, and this is what I mean by like, just putting in the work and kind of like the universe figure out what lane you're going to end up in. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it was for me. Like, I went out and I was actively, like doing things, like when I was starting out on maybe a smaller scale. And then I just got this email one day, and I was like in one of those pinches that life throws at you, where I was like, I hope the phone rings, soon, and you say those things out loud. And I got this email that I literally almost deleted, because like when you're starting out and over the years, it's like there's so many people who just like they want stuff for free. And we graduate from that eventually, thankfully. And
but you're not against that in the beginning?
if that's what you got to do. I had to do that, and I learned that you need to figure out a way to get your business right and stand up for your value. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the free things that I did for people were connected to like another opportunity down the line. Mm-hmm. And so some of those played out that way. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's kind of a gamble. Mm-hmm. If
you got to take those risks.
Yeah, on the onset, I would do that as as little as possible.
Yeah.
But if that's what you got to do,
it's risk reward.
Do it. But at the same time, once your value is there, stand up for it, and you got to get your value.
Now, with that being said, even with us doing this new project together, negotiating publishing, understanding publishing, what would you say to the producer of today? What do you want your publishing to look like?
It's hard to say how some people should conduct like themselves in their business, because like a lot of these licensing companies, they have just different requirements. Some are exclusive, some are non-exclusive. Some will give you sync fees, some won't. Some will include you in the licensing fee when they get it, but a lot of them absorb that as the company. And you'll get your writer's royalties from, whatever ASCAP or BMI, or I think that was the one SOCAN, whoever you're with.
So they advance you? They'll advance you?
Some will.
Yeah.
Some will, yeah. And I think the ones that I work with that don't advance, their track record is great. Like they like you'll give them a track and they'll always get played. Like with certain companies, specifically like Liquid Cinema is great. Like it's like, it's like I trust them, and it's been very successful working with them. I love working with them over there.
What was the first optimal moment that actually changed everything?
Your question. That's where it is, back home. I think it was an email I almost deleted, thankfully I didn't. But it's like, you know, you get a lot of people like, you know, they might spam your email. It happens all the time. Oh, hey, can you do this for us? Can you do that for us? And I was like, no, slow down. Give them a chance. Let's see what they're talking about. Hear them out. You know, and thankfully I did that because that's who I'm still working with today. And that I was in a pinch, and I was one of those life pinches, and I needed a quick one. Mm-hmm. And they came through, and they like just bought 25 tracks. Boom. And they're super professional. Love working with them to this day. Elias Music, they're great. You know.
Well, there also was your first placement on a hip hop record back in 2006.
That had to be you. That was you. Yep. First track I sold.
First track you sold.
Yep.
In 2006.
In 2006.
And here we are right now, about to embark on my new project together.
Yep.
Never give up. Keep innovating.
Absolutely.
Keep creating. Been there, done that, like we said on the course.
That was a beat that I could take in any studio and know that I wasn't going to embarrass myself.
I actually,
no matter who I played it for, they would stand up and be like, "Who are you?"
That beat came through. I had someone from Def Jam in my studio.
Yeah.
And that beat came through on a demo reel, and that it turned on. It took me. They were sitting in the studio. They were in Washington in my studio, SeaReal, and I went in and I laid that track literally within hours. And they were sitting there like, "This is for real." Yeah. And at that moment, we pushed it, continued it independently. But I remember the first time hearing it on XM radio, and that thing, I mean, it just literally like, because XM was something new, and you know, it went everywhere. And it was on XL Hip Hop, I think it was, the channel, Raw. And I was like, man, it just, that track held its own always. And what we got in the oven for this new project right now, and this Reawakening for SeaRealization, it's already brilliant. Let's pull up some tracks. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Indeed. I appreciate being back here with you, brother.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Indeed. You celebrate all your successes, and we're going to celebrate our continued successes.
Yep. We'll keep it moving.
From the club to the tee to the studio.
We still got on the same clothes.
This is real.
We do go from the golf course
to the studio.
Yeah. That's it. It happens.
Above par.
There it
We're
is.
still in it. Love the ethereal nature, man. Like I said, I want the angels to speak on this one, you know? The sky to open, you know? The lyrics are raw, they're real, you know? They're unapologetic. You know, it's not playing to anybody, it's just, and that feel brings it out.
Absolutely.
You said breaking all the rules too.
Break as many as you can.
Innovation, even in the art world, because, you know, I've been managing an artist, representing him as his art dealer. And you know, he's so focused on his art, painting, creation in the moment. It's just his own world he's creating. It's not what the industry's saying. He's in a remote place like a Port Townsend, Washington, that's away from everything. And he's so much in his creative zone. I mean, he doesn't do any social media, anything. Yeah. He's just zeroed in on his creations. And that's because he's creating. He's creating, not looking for approval from anybody.
Yeah.
Just honest creation.
Yep.
And that's like, you know, when you go in the studio, I can relate to that. That's why I celebrate that. But when you're the tastemaker for the future, you are the tastemaker. You're not the reproducer.
Yeah.
You're creating the next.
Absolutely.
You're not paying attention to what everyone else is telling you.
Yeah.
And that's what the beautiful thing is. You believe in that. All those that I align myself believe in that, and I strongly believe in that.
100%.
So that's why these collaborations are so pure and so real and so impactful in the big pictures, because we literally create from our hearts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed. Wait till you get this one. Because when we were on the phone, we were talking about a new project. He's like, I got this song. It's like been there, done that 2.0, basically. Ready? You know what to say? This is what they say. Ready? Ready? D-U-B-E. Baby, drop the dub, and baby, now I just be. I say D-U-B-B. Baby, drop the dub, and baby, now I just be. D-U-B-B. Baby, drop the dub, and now, baby, I just be. 2003, it was SeaReality. I thought it was all in my zone. Touring the nation with bone. See real records we own. From a dream now it's sown. Proving the haters all wrong. Watching crowds sing our song. How this kid from the hills turned down these big rap deals. My steady shelling these thrills with every filled with this milk. They say we live and we learn, but too much chronic to burn. Too many groupies to serve. Too many PDs to turn. You know what I mean? It's like how you come up on that shit.
That's gonna be great.
You know what I mean? You come back with it all like, you know what I mean?
I like that.
I mean, you know, I can't give it all away right now, but you know what I mean? But, you know, and then you just break it all the way down, man. This is like that comeback shit because it's like, you know, say a little something right here. I know what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say it though. Just leave it right here. But then you come back and you have everyone come back and say what? What we say? D-U-B-B, baby, drop the dub, and baby, now I just be. I say D-U-B-B, baby, drop the dub, and now, baby, I just be. And say D-U-B-B, baby, drop the dub, and now, baby, I just be. We got it. That shit's banging. SeaReality started. SeaRealization. This is a reawakening. The reawakening. Once again. See all the symbols around. The signs don't lie to us. It's happening right now. This is all reawakening. Beauty and joy manifest. Sneak peek above par. Where it started, first track ever sold. Right. You know? Now we're going platinum, not gold. You feel me? We got some work to do to pick up on. Even though I do have a song on the Billboard charts right now. Once again. But you know what? We gotta have many, many more. Steve, appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
I look forward to this project.
Yeah.
We got much more to do.
Absolutely.
Indeed. It's been a good day. Thank you for being on the
Beautiful day. And thanks for having me. It's a blast. Until next time.